between the two, better bet, I will go with Derrick Henry at plus 100.
Okay.
Now, let's get to what everybody wants, which is our favorite props for today. We got a plethora for you guys. So, Joe, I'll let you take the first one. We'll go Chargers Houston first.
First game out of the chute is going to be Joe Mixon over 17.5 rushing attempts. The path today for Houston, if they're going to win this game, has to be on the ground. The Chargers ranked 20th this season in defensive rush success rate, and Mixon is coming in refreshed. Light work the last 2 weeks with just 14 total carries. However, when they've needed him to be a workhorse, he's been a workhorse. 20 or more rushing attempts in 6 games during a 7-game stretch this season. That's the guy today going over 17.5.
Yeah, they might have to. They might not have a choice, especially if Collins isn't looking good. I'm going to go with Justin Herbert, not to throw a pick. So he only has 3 interceptions so far this season. That was against Denver, that was against Tampa Bay, that was also against Carolina. But amongst quarterbacks with at least 15 touchdown passes in a season, Herbert's 23-3 touchdown to interception ratio ranks 8th all time. I don't expect him to turn it over against this defense. Also, this team does sometimes just lean on the run game, so I think he'll be good in this game. He will not turn it over, so we'll go no pick for him.
Also, low total, 2 teams that play at a slow pace, probably won't have a lot of attempts, so the fewer attempts, the more likely you are to not have an interception. All right, let's take a look at Ladd McConkey going against Anita on this one with an under on 79.5 receiving yards. He's a man beater. He's fantastic against man coverage. Problem is, that's not really what Houston does a lot of. It's about league average in terms of time that they're in man. So you're going to see a lot of zone. It's not going to be the favorable matchup. Houston's got an elite pass defense. That's what's being overlooked in this game. This season, opposing quarterbacks, bottom 5 in terms of quarterback rating when facing the Houston Texans. And this number, to me, a bit inflated because he's been hot down the stretch. But in 16 games played this year, he did miss 1 due to injury. He only went over it 7 times. So keep that in mind. We'll go under on McConkey.
I agree with that. I feel like everyone's thinking, let's take an over on him just because he's been so hot. But this is a numbers game, so of course things are adjusting, the books are adjusting. I'm going to go with Nico Collins, anytime touchdown scorer. He leads the team in targets. He leads the team in receptions. He leads the team in receiving yards. He leads the team in touchdowns with 7 this season, despite only playing 12 games. Of course, with injuries to Tank Dell and Stephon Diggs, I'm looking at a guy like Collins. Plus, only 5 teams have allowed more receiving touchdowns to opposing wide receivers than the Chargers this season. So, if anyone is going to score, it feels like it's going to be Nico Collins, aside from, of course, Joe Mixon. But that was at minus money, so we're going to go Nico Collins plus 140.
I mean, in the passing game, there are no other options. He's the only guy.
What is your
So,
option?
yeah, I can see why you lean into that, especially at plus money.
Hit
All right,
Baltimore.
let's move to tomorrow. Jalen Warren, Steeler running back, over 3.5 receptions. 2 games against the Ravens this year. He's targeted 9 times. How did he do on those 9 targets? He caught all 9 of them in both games. Baltimore's got an elite defense. The thing is, when it comes to opposing running backs, they're giving up the 10th most receptions allowed per game. They're not going to let you beat them with the deep play, but if you want to check down against them, bring the pressure, get the ball out of your hands in a hurry, that tends to go to the running back, and I think that's what we're going to see from Russell Wilson today. He doesn't take a lot of shots down the field. He's going to face the pressure. Just get it off to Warren, let him make a play, so over 3.5 receptions. Good plus money there as well.
All right, I like it. I'm looking at Lamar Jackson to go under. This is 27.5 pass attempts. It just changed from 28.5. I don't like it as much at 27.5. We have to do it here. Now, he's been held to 207.
Smash it in the ground.
You see how angry I get when things change? Held to an average of 207 passing yards versus Pitt this season. Now, he went 15 for 23 in the win. He went 16 for 33 in the loss. What that tells me is, of course, he was playing from behind, just throwing the ball a ton. I don't think that's going to be the case in this spot. So I'm going to go under